President Donald Trump set to ban Nigeria not to travel to America until Nnamdi Kanu released. If today is your first time of watching my video, please kindly subscribe to this channel on your notifications and share this video. Make other people too see this video. Watch this video and share it so that other people watch it.
Nation, we're in the state capital to bring our concerns to the American folks that Nnamdi Kanu needs to be released now. A lot of people have talked about him being unjustly incarcerated for nothing. He is not the problem of Nigeria. If anything, he's the solution to solve Nigerian problems. We're asking President Tinubu, just like we asked President Buhari, that got him in the first place, to release him. They have not done anything to anybody. On this note, we are reminding the world about what happened in January 2017, when inauguration of Donald Trump was celebrated in Port Harcourt, and the Nigerian government shut down and killed over 27 young youths of Igbo descent, IPOB young stars, for doing nothing but cheering up the president of their choice. This happened and nobody have been brought to account for that. We are asking that the government of the United States under Donald Trump, present president, to look into that massacre, because it was democracy that was being celebrated, and those youths were happy, rejoicing that such a good thing happened, and the military went and killed them all like chickens. We continue to ask, what is it that you're holding Nnamdi Kanu for? And we believe, as a British citizen, the British government's hand is in it, because Nnamdi was discussing about the atrocities they're doing in Nigeria. They don't want any development in Nigeria. Everything that we are doing is what Nnamdi was preaching on, and everything he have said before have happened today, and it's still happening. The jihadis coming in to work for the British government and to be killing people, the Fulani herdsmen, the terrorists, and that's what they are, killing people, trying to displace indigenous people, trying to take their lands from them, land grabbing. We want the world to look into it, more especially the United States government. For one thing, if nothing is done, once these jihadis get hold of the southeast, the Christians that they're trying to exterminate, they will have hold of the sweet crew. And once that happens, the next thing will be to challenge the United States and even the Britain that is encouraging them to do their bad deeds.
So, Father, I've heard that a Nigerian government official, the Inspector General of the DSS, Department of State Services, has said, Nigerians, defend yourselves from the terrorists and the bandits, end quote. So, Father, as a minister of God, do you support self-defense, especially where it may lead to the killing of your assailant?
Thank you very much, sir, for the question. And if you don't mind, let me begin by thanking you and your colleagues who have been working with us tirelessly to bring to the awareness of the world the level of injustice that is going on in Nigeria. It's getting too much. And at some point, somebody somewhere has to stand up and say, enough is enough. Now, coming to your question, yes, the Director General of DSS, who in American context, we might equate to the Director of Homeland Security, is a special government official in Nigeria who is privy to top secret intelligence, actually. For him to step forward and publicly told Nigerians, arm and defend yourselves, tells me a couple of things. One, Nigeria is either becoming a failed state or is already a failed state. Why? Because he said that they don't have enough government manpower to defend you. The military, the police, the DSS, that they don't have enough power to defend their citizens. What is the primary responsibility of any government, democratic government? To defend the lives and property of the people. So, for the director of DSS to say, we don't have what it takes to protect you Nigerians, it means that they are incapacitated. Self-defense is a natural phenomenon. If I were to pinch you now, you will blink unconsciously in defense of yourself. So self-defense is a natural phenomenon. But in the context of the DSS, honestly, I wasn't expecting that we shall come to that level at which the common people are required to arm themselves and defend themselves. But guess what? It has happened. In other words, what it means is you're on your own. If anything happens to you, you have yourself to blame. Now, because self-defense is a natural phenomenon, I have never read about any law, moral law, Christian law, civil law, natural law that is against self-defense. None whatsoever. But you know what? Where you have a good government, you take it for granted that you are protected. And so it's not even a question of whether I support it or not, or whether it is legal or not. And then for the government to say, defend yourself. Now, we are taking self-defense to a higher level. The level of you have to do everything possible to protect your life. Your life is the most precious gift God has given you. Very, very precious. God has given us a precious life to take care of, and we should guard it judiciously. But what is happening in Nigeria is that a group of bandits, terrorists, have taken it upon themselves to be massacring people at will. They carry arms all over the place, unchecked, unhindered. And they are decimating ethnic groups in the name of herders, farmers, clash, rubbish. There is more to it. There is a hidden agenda, and that is ethnic cleansing and religious persecution. That is what has been going on. At this point in time, I will actually go the extra mile to advocate for self-defense, and people should defend themselves. And I'm asking my people, you cannot waste the life, precious life God has given you. You must defend it, because there's no way. It has come to that. If the government tells you to defend yourself, defend yourself. That's what I will tell my people. And then I will ask our brothers and sisters in diaspora, especially here in America, who are from Igbo descent, Igbos here in America and Europe, organize yourselves, raise money, and make sure that your respective communities at home are protected. Have a very working vigilante groups, and make sure that your communities are protected. The time to pretend that everything is okay back home in Nigeria is gone, and may never come back until that country disintegrates. Because honestly, a failed state, the only solution to a failed state is disintegration. To your tents, O Israel, everybody should go and take care of themselves, from the local communities maybe to the regional level. And guess what? This is exactly what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been preaching for more than 10 to 15 years. That these people are coming, these are mercenaries sponsored by the Fulani hegemony to decimate the rest of the ethnic groups in Nigeria. And the government has done little or nothing to stop them. And to our greatest embarrassment, or even being fair to them, they have now told us officially that there's not much they can do.
So, Bruce Fine, as a constitutional lawyer and the International Council for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and you visited Nigeria many times. Your client has served over 5 years in prison. What is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's current situation, and how has the current state of the Nigerian Constitution and the rule of law affected Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's freedom?
Well, thank you for that wonderful question. We're really gathered here today to pay homage to Nnamdi Kanu and his unsurpassed courage that has given the Biafrans hope, which is what sustains the people and moving forward towards justice. Nnamdi Kanu was victim of a crime. Crime perpetrator was the nation of Nigeria. In 2021, he was kidnapped and tortured in Kenya. He was then returned to Nigeria, where he's been denied a trial for now over 4 years. I helped precipitate a ruling from the working group on arbitrary detention in Geneva, holding very unambiguously and calling for the immediate and unconditional of Nnamdi Kanu, because the government of Nigeria had violated 16 human rights covenants that were binding on all nations, whether they accepted them or not. The Nigerian government has flouted that decree now for almost 3 years. Nnamdi Kanu remains in isolation. Again, he's never ever been given an opportunity for a trial. There are repeated adjournments because there is no evidence. I've examined the indictments. They're really quite hollow. They don't have any specificity of what Nnamdi Kanu did that caused any kind of violence or harm. And at present, there still is no scheduled trial date. It's a continuing criminal violation by the Nigerian government. The great irony is that the real case should be Nnamdi Kanu versus the government of Nigeria, which should be in the defendant's chair. One of the things that's very astonishing is that for hundreds of years of Anglo-American jurisprudence, there's a motto: crime should not pay. The Nigerian government is trying to make their crime against Nnamdi Kanu pay, which is intolerable.
Bruce, what can be done to the government of Nigeria to help free Nnamdi Kanu?
Well, there are several precedents. One, during apartheid, South Africa was suspended from the United Nations General Assembly until Nelson Mandela was released. And there's nothing that prevents petitions now to the United Nations General Assembly insisting that Nigeria be suspended until they release Nnamdi Kanu. That's one possibility. Another would be if you had the president issue an executive order says there are going to be no Nigerian visas to visit the U.S. until Nnamdi Kanu is released. That would impress upon all Nigerians the penalty they're paying because the government is being so lawless and tyrannical. There are other options, like having an international arms embargo on Nigeria until Nnamdi Kanu is released, having very, very high tariffs on anything sold by Nigeria until Nnamdi Kanu is released. These are financial pressures. They've been utilized in other countries in the past. It's a matter of political will, not law.
Chief Ugonna, how do the attacks on the Christian community and the continued injustice faced by...
Yes, of course, nothing is eventually happened in Nigeria today as a result that Nnamdi Kanu, the chosen one, is in the custody of Nigeria, of DSS. The earlier Nigeria knows this, the earlier things can if there will be remedy. It has not gone beyond repairing to be better. But as we speak now, Nnamdi Kanu still under the custody of DSS. You can never see any positive. I'm not swearing for this country. You can see I decided to wear black today because eventually now Nigeria is supposed to be mourning this country now, because eventually nothing is working in Nigeria. If you watch these videos, oh, you are talking rubbish. Show us what is working in Nigeria currently. Show us what is working currently. I will show you the video right now. And some of you are complaining, oh, your video is too long. You show off your video. In 3 minutes, I will show you the video where Donald Trump, they have stapled the matter in front of Donald Trump table to do the needful. 2 options were given to were tendered to Donald Trump. It's either he ban Nigeria, no any Nigeria will travel to abroad, to USA anymore. They should ban Nigeria, or they should exclude Nigeria out of their US National Assembly. They did it in South Africa then, when South Africa was maltreating Nelson Mandela. They did it then, and they can do it again. Of course, I will not waste your time. Watch the video by yourself and see. Kudos to Igbos in the United Kingdom now have taken it upon themselves and say, of course, enough is enough. We will do the needful. In fact, they have even encouraged the village vigilante set up to defend their people against these Fulani herders. They are set to be contributing this money because since Samuel Ekpa has been caged, who is doing the needful, Nnamdi Kanu is in the DSS custody. The rest of it, Dr. Abweze and Nkere are nowhere to find. Those ones, they are fighting on social media. They are ready to do the needful.
Liittyen entinen puhdistus ja kristittyjen vainot Nigeriassa. Sen hallituksen toimesta sekä pyyntö muuta vaikuttaa Biafran itsenäisyysprosessiin Nigeriasta. Kiitos.
Can I have a word or two with you? I heard you were talking about knowing Simon Ekpa. Yeah, who is Simon Ekpa and what kind of a person can you describe him to be?
Simon Ekpa is a citizen of Lahti. He is a politician in here. He has served in our defense forces doing his military service. He did it well. I didn't train him, but I was working in there at the moment, and I know he did it very well. He has worked in here during past years, and now there has been some happenings like police has taken.
Wow, he's a great guy. Thank you very much. I am Raphael. I am a Deputy Minister of Communications. We are law-abiding citizens of Biafra, and make every effort you can, knowing fully well that Simon Ekpa is a good guy, has not done anything wrong.
He's a very brave man.
Wow, he's a brave man. So bravery, when you talk about bravery, is it knowing him as a military, person, or training him, or what kind of bravery can you do? How can you describe his bravery, Simon Ekpa?
What I meant from brave is that taking responsibility, what's happening in Biafra land.
Wow.
At the moment, it's a very big thing in Finland. It's very rare because usually anything couldn't say that I take response of those what's happening there.
Yeah.
But as Finns we know, gaining or having independence, it always requires sacrifices, and many people are dying, and it's sad, but it just belongs to gaining independence.
Because Finland also passed through a tough time to gain independence. The same thing Finland did is what Biafra is doing. Do you understand that?
But I know Simon more personally.
Wow.
From the entrepreneurship. I'm an entrepreneur as well. We met the first time about 15 years ago when we both belong to a group for young entrepreneurs here in Lahti.
Wow.
That's how I know him. I have had a sauna once.
Wow. Wow. Yeah.
So the army service is just one thing. How I know.
I know him. Okay, it's part of the thing.
I have met him many times in a group of young entrepreneurs. We have eaten together, and that's it was about 10 years ago. Because it's meant for people under 35, and me and Simon, we are both older, so that's why we are not in that group anymore. But I saw him last time earlier on this autumn. I was cycling to my home near the lake, which is between this market square and the conference hall where you are gathering.
Yes.
And he was jogging towards me, and I just held because I had a hurry. If I had known that you had this conference in here, I had stopped him and I would have
asked him.
Yes, what is because
where you can support, you would have supported him because you know.
Because I'm sorry, but when I saw him, I thought that those things what I had read about and how police took him earlier, it was about 2 years ago, and I thought everything
is over. Yes.
I'm so sorry. Now I know that there is a United States
of Biafra. Can you help me with one flag? Help me with one flag. Give me one flag. Can you wave it in solidarity for Biafra and for Simon?
Of course.
Thank you.
I hope this would go to Simon.
Yeah.
But I hope it would be best for both of you and Simon that the situation is like that now, because because if he would have here and leading your group now, then the police could say that now there's something bad happening.
Okay, so you think it is better he's not here, and we are having a